Thank you for joining us on News Now. I am Frank Omalape. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday hosted the Council of State meeting at the Council Chamber of the State House, Abuja. The first in 2023. The meeting comes 14 days to the presidential elections and amid the twin crises facing the economy, fuel scarcity and a cash crunch occasioned by the central bank's naira redesign policy. Present are former heads of state, General Yakubu, Gowon, and Abdulsalami, Abubakar, as well as former President Goodluck Jonathan. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo is joining the hybrid meeting virtually, as only about 14 governors were present, both physically and virtually, with some represented by the deputies. Also present are Vice-President Yemi Osinbajo, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, two former Chief Justices of Nigeria. Amongst others, the Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmud, Yakubu, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, and the Inspector General Police, Usman Baba, are also present to brief the Council. The Senate President Ahmad Lawan and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, were also present. And now the Cross River State Governor Ben Anyade won at the Court of Appeal in Abuja Division in a case filed against him by Cecilia Adams, a participant in the May 28th primary of the All Progressives Congress. The appellant had lost at the Federal High Court Abuja, where she sought to challenge the candidature of Governor Anyade for election into the National Assembly at the senatorial level. Cecilia had scored 0 votes at the primary but refused to participate in the fresh one conducted on July 14, 2022 for the Cross River North Senatorial District towards the 2023 general election. In a unanimous decision of the appellate court led by Justice Stephen Ada, and the appeal argued for Anyade by Michael Zerkome, the court upheld the decision of Justice Eni Maha of the Federal High Court. The court dismissed the appeal, seeking to set aside the judgment of the trial court and to grant the relief sought in its originating summons, which, among others, was to order the Independent National Electoral Commission to recognize, accept, and publish Adams' name as the candidate of the APC for the Cross River North Senatorial District. And now, the Nigeria Customs Service has disclosed that it intercepted 450 drums of calcium carbide or carbide used for making explosives, 66 pieces of military camouflage, cannabis sativa, and others worth 517 million naira in January. The Customs Area Controller in charge of the Federal Operations Unit Zone A, Ikeja, Hussein Ejiboro, while addressing journalists at the unit, said the explosives weighed 106 kilograms each, were intercepted in Ijebu and Road Aba in Abia State. He also said the explosives have a DT paid value of 24 million naira. Ejiboro said within the period under review, the sum of 86 million naira was recovered through the issuance of demand notices for underpaid customs duties. The Customs Zone A boss stated that the carbides were still under detention pending when the importer provided the necessary document. He said the failure of the importer to produce the EUC within the time frame will lead to the service persecuting the importer. The Lagos Chamber, or the Lagos branch of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, says the only way to end the practice of female genital mutilation in Nigeria is to arrest and prosecute offenders of the practice, no matter how highly placed. The legal practitioners call on stakeholders to create more awareness on the fight against this scourge, as all cultural beliefs on female genital mutilation have been proven wrong. They called on parents not to subject their daughters to such a barbaric culture and practice.
By this, we use the legal frameworks to do that. And female genital mutilation is against women and girls. As we fight for the cause of women and girls, we should be involved. And that's why we are involved. And that's why we are calling on everybody to stop female genital mutilation. the UN has set aside the 6th of February every year to raise and create awareness for the fight against female genital mutilation. So that's why we are here. I've given a press statement saying that we are saying no, we pledge to fight female genital mutilation, and we intend to go to the grassroots. We did that last year. Like I said, we went to Isolo, local government, went to the Oba's Palace, and we met with the grassroots. And they told them the evil effect, harmful effects of female genital mutilation. It's a violation of women and girls' rights. So that's why we are here, to give a press statement for it to be stopped.
If you go to the rural area and see what the young girls are going through in the name of circumcision that has no medical value, has no physical value, nothing to add for the person. So at this point, we felt that it's not going to be women fight alone. We are getting the men involved, because some of them, you see in some families, the men that say, oh, my child must be circumcised to avoid whatever they had in mind, and some are women. So we have to partner with everybody. We want to make it all inclusive, so everybody will get involved, and let's see if we can get it right for once. So what we just had today is just a starting point of everything, because we want to go down to rural area, because I know a lot of people in Lagos have seen that this has no value of any type. So what everybody wants to achieve now is like Makoko, where we are, to get into the streets of Makoko, the village of Makoko, to tell them the implication of what they are doing to their girl child. It has no value. It can't change anything from what the girl child is going to be. So we are really working, and we continue working, and we continue partner with other NGOs who are interested to get it right for once. We are going to work it out with them. Well,
it's a very good strategy, because first of all, men, let's start with fathers. It's the female genital mutilation always starts from either they're babies or as they grow older until they're about 18 years. Even though there are some minor cases that start with the practice, that harmful practice on older women, but very rare. It's mainly from birth up to 18. So when the man is fully aware of the harmful practice, the danger to his daughter, he'll be able to, enforce in the house that there will be no FGM in my house, and he'll be able to monitor the wife, because most times it's the women, that feel because it happened to me, it must be good. We've been brainwashed from when we were young, Yeah, so men are very important. They play a vital role. They will enforce it in their home, thereby reduce the number of babies and even girls that get circumcised. Then they also enforce it as they talk with their fellow men. I even advocate having town hall meetings, going to churches, talking to men fellowships, going to the Oba and in the community, get the men folk to come and listen to us and talk about the harmful practice of female genital mutilation.
And now the tanker has exploded in flames following a crash in the Ogun State area of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway between Vidiwo Bridge and Foursquare, causing traffic. The unregistered tanker reportedly exploded around 7:30 a.m. Friday morning. The Ogun State Federal Road Safety Corps spokesperson Florence Okwe confirmed the incident, adding that 3 persons were involved in the accident, but no death or injury was recorded. She said the accident involved an unregistered DAF tanker and another vehicle. According to her, the suspected cause of the crash was wrongfully overtaking, which led to the scratching of 2 vehicles, resulting in sparks of fire. And on the African scene, the foreign ministers of Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso have called for their countries' reinstatement into 2 regional blocs that suspended them after recent military coups. In a joint statement, the ministers said they had agreed to work together to push for the lifting of the suspensions from the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States. Abdoulaye Diop of Mali, Maurice Sanda Kouate of Guinea, and Burkina Faso's Olivier Ruamba held talks in Ouagadougou, where they agreed to put their efforts and undertake joint initiatives for the lifting of the suspension measures and other restrictions taken by the AU and ECOWAS. The coups in Mali and Burkina Faso were triggered by frustrations following a jihadist insurgency that has claimed thousands of lives in the Sahel countries. Guinea's coup, on the other hand, was a result of public anger against then-President Alfa, who sought a third term in office contrary to the provisions of the constitution.